Hey there, Taurus, and welcome back to Unicorn Tarot for your monthly reading. This is going to be a reading for the month of January 2023, and we're going to take a look at your past, present, and near future energies. Also, Taurus, if this reading resonates and you'd like to book a personal reading, send me an email. All the information about how to do that is in the description box below. So this flew out. Also, Taurus, as you can tell, I am not in my usual setup. This glare from the light above me, I'm traveling, so this glare is driving me nuts for the readings, but we will make do. There you are in the near future. Okay, let's see. The main energy for your reading this month, Taurus, is the Hanged Man. Something's stuck. The energies aren't moving for you, but there's a reason for it. Now, it could be that you're on purpose, like not taking action, or it could be that the universe is keeping things stuck for you, which I know you don't like, for a reason. And we'll see when we clarify. In the recent past, you get the Moon, the Ten of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. There was a difficult, painful ending for you in the recent past, but it's almost like you made the decision here from a logical perspective, from your mind. You're like, nope. Not looking at this, and the Moon flew out. So some of you may be dealing with a Pisces here. The Moon flew out. It was basically like, nope, it was a difficult, painful ending. Not dealing with this, not looking at this. Let me take this painful ending, let me ball it up, and let me bury it deep within myself so I don't have to look at it, I don't have to think about it, I don't have to feel it. And you made this from a logical perspective. Your mind was like, yep, this is the best course of action here. And you did it. And you, Taurus, are quite stubborn. If you set your mind to something, you can do it. In the current situation, you get the Five of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Three of Cups. You do want a reconciliation. You do want this connection back. You do want to start over here. But you're confused and you're conflicted. Now, you're not really showing me what you're confused and conflicted about. I'll clarify that once I start the reading. But the desire to reconcile is here. And you're showing me, I want this, but. And I don't know what this but is yet. We'll see in a minute. Very vague, Taurus. You're not being an open book right now for some reason. Now, in the near future, you get the King of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Wands. You are the King of Pentacles to me. I do not assign gender to my cards. You do want to rekindle this. Again, you want a reconciliation, but you're not allowing yourself to get too emotionally invested in the possibility of this happening. It's like, oh, I want this, but I'm not going to admit to myself just how much I want this. I'm not going to accept that I want this. I don't even want to emotionally invest in my desire to have this connection back. Now, again, I don't know why you're approaching this. You're usually not as closed off as you're giving me this energy this month. Usually you're way more open. I don't know. You're a little closed off energetically for me this month, Taurus, but we'll see. We'll clarify. Now, also, Taurus, keep in mind, I say you because this is your reading. This could also be your person's energy, so take it as it resonates. Let's see. I'll start off by clarifying the Hanged Man, which is the main energy for your reading this month. Hanged Man is clarified by the Lovers, the Ace of Wands, which you get in the near future, and the Two of Pentacles, which you get in the current situation. You're keeping yourself stuck, Taurus. There's a connection here. There's a divine connection. There's a love connection. Virgo got very similar energies as well. You have this connection, which I don't know what happened here in the 3D world, but in the 5D world, you guys are still very much still connected. You're still very much still attached. You want this connection back, but you're confused about something. And maybe we'll see in the current situation what you're confused about. So part of you is like, I want this. I want this. I want to rekindle this. I want this connection back. I care about this person so much. And the other part of you is like, nope, nope, you're just not taking action on purpose. You're the one stopping yourself. And Taurus, you are the epitome of a stubborn bull. So if you are like purposefully not taking action and you've made up your mind, like, I'm not doing it, you ain't going to do it. Hell or high water, you're not budging. So I don't know. We'll see what you're confused about in the current situation. Let's take a look at your recent past. I'm going to start off by clarifying the Moon for you. The Moon is clarified by the Strength, the Five of Cups, the Eight of Wands. You want to communicate. You want to communicate with somebody. And what you want to talk about, excuse me, I literally said communicate and I choked up. Whew, Taurus, I'm sorry. Jeez, don't kill the messenger. You do want to communicate. And what you want to communicate about is the past. Something happened in the past which you want to talk about. You want to get clarity around the situation. You want to open up this Pandora's box of whatever this is in your past that you need to talk about it. You want to talk about it, but it's hard. It's a touchy subject. Whatever this is that happened, it's tender. It's sensitive for you. So part of you is like, I want to talk about this. We need to talk about this. Let's have a conversation. Let's look at what happened. Like, let's take a look at the past to see what happened there. But you're also showing me, I don't want to look at this. The reason you don't want to look at this is because you know that it's almost like you have a wound, right? And you know that in order to heal, you have to clean the wound. You know, the alcohol, it burns, it sucks, and you have to wait to go through the painful process of healing. But sometimes it's also easier to just put a Band-Aid on it and pretend like it's not there, right? Because then we don't have to go through the pain of cleaning it with alcohol, putting disinfectant on it, da-da-da-da. So sometimes it's easier to just pretend like it's not there. And so that's kind of where you're at in the recent past. You want to talk about this. You need to talk about this. But it's hard for you. And so you're kind of still like, look, let me just keep this, you know, let me just pretend like this doesn't exist for a little bit, whatever this conversation is. Let's take a look at the Ten of Swords for you in the recent past. Ten of Swords is clarified by the Four of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, Eight of Pentacles. There was an ending. It was a painful ending. It was a difficult ending for you here. And you, my dear Taurus, have the desire to fix it, to work on it. There's something here which needs to be addressed. Now, again, I feel like the conversation is the first step, but there's something here that needs to be worked on. Even if it's not to reconcile, even if it's not to get this connection back, there's something which has not, it's just kind of like been left. Like, it's just kind of like, it needs to be, it's like a building, right? You started building it and then you guys just stopped. Even if you don't finish it, either tear the building down, keep building it. Something here needs to keep working. But you are being your stubborn little self and you're like, nope, not doing it. Don't want to deal with this. You're kind of literally just like pushing it away. And this is a defense mechanism because, again, it's tender. It's difficult, right? Sometimes it's easier to just put a Band-Aid over the wound and pretend like it doesn't hurt. Let's take a look at the Ace of Swords for you in the recent past, Taurus. I mean, we all do this, literally. It's easier to ignore certain things than address them sometimes. Ostriches do that. I honestly don't know if that's an urban legend or not. Like, is that a real thing that ostriches bury their head in the sand? I don't know. Anyways, I go off on tangents. For the, oh my gosh, come on. For the Ace of Swords, in the recent past, you get the Page of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. So, you do want to rebuild a foundation here. At the very least, you know, right? That you want to see where the other person's at. You want to know how they're feeling, what they're thinking. Do they hate you? Do they love you? What do they feel? You kind of want to just at least test the waters with this person. Like, hey, where are you at? Let's meet up for coffee. Let's talk. Do I feel like you're actually doing anything about that? No. Your heart is kind of gently pulling you in that direction, Taurus, and you know this, right? You're showing me, I'm clear, I understand what's happening here, but you're planting your feet firmly on the ground. You're showing me like, look, I know what I feel, I know which direction my heart is pulling me in, but you're not going to make me do this. And I don't know who you're talking to. You have free will. You don't have to do anything. But it's almost like there's a little bit of energy here of like, nope, I know what I feel, I know what I'm thinking, but it feels good to me, at least in the recent past, to not take any action, not do anything, not follow how I feel, none of that. Let's take a look at the current situation. I want to clarify the Five of Wands for you in the current situation. Interesting. Five of Wands is clarified by the Moon, and you got the Moon in the same row in the recent past, the Ten of Cups, and the Chariot. Taurus, you want to move towards happiness. You do. You really, really do. And the way to get to happiness, and I'm not talking about happiness with this other person. I mean, literally just pursue the happiness that you want. Internal happiness for yourself is to look at the painful part. Look at the difficult things. You're trying to ignore it. You are. But it's kind of surfacing for you. The universe is coming in and kind of like gently nudging you in the direction of like, Taurus, let's look behind the door, Taurus. And you're like, no, I don't want to look at the door. There is no door. Don't tell me there's a door. I don't want to look at the door. but there is a door. And you know that behind this door, there's happiness. But the way to get to this happiness is you have to go through the difficult part. You have to look at this painful thing, whatever it is. Have the conversation, even if it's not with the other person. Have the conversation with yourself. At least admit to yourself, like, hey, there's something here which I don't want to look at. This is why I don't want to look at it, and just accept it. You don't have to do anything about it, but at least accept or admit that it's there. You don't even want to look at it because you know if you look at it, you feel like you might have to address it. You're not a huge procrastinator. And when something becomes serious, you're like, okay, I'll just deal with it now. But you don't want to. So that's what the conflict is for you. Let's take a look at the Two of Pentacles in the current situation. Two of Pentacles is clarified by the Ten of Swords, which again, you get in the current situation in the same row. Moon, Moon. Ten of Swords, Ten of Swords. Your past is tying into your present. So the Two of Pentacles is clarified by the Ten of Swords, Three of Wands, Ace of Cups. You want a new beginning in love following this ending. You do. This is a soul connection that you share with this person, okay? You have history with this person. This is not somebody that you just met 2 days ago. You've got history. You've got memories. There's time under your belt. There was a difficult ending here, and you want it back. You want this connection back. You want to have a new beginning in love. But Taurus, my dear, dear Taurus, you're not taking any action. You're showing me I want this, but I'll wait. I'll deal with this later. I'll do it later. It's almost like you think if you just wait long enough, it'll either somehow go away, right? Like this desire, whatever it is that you bury deep within you, it'll just disappear, or you just won't want it as much. You'll be like, oh, you know, if I can wait like, you know, another month, another 2 months, then I'm not going to feel this. I'm not going to want this. It's going to go away on its own. I mean, I don't know if that works for you. Personally, I can tell you for me, it doesn't work. You can ignore feelings all you want. They're still going to be there. Let's take a look at the Three of Cups in the current situation for you. Three of Cups is clarified by the Eight of Cups, which you get again in the near future, the King of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. You're trying to be logical about this. So you feel the desire to reconcile. You're like, I want this back. I want this connection back. I want to rekindle this. Okay? But my brain, the way you do that is you try to reason your way through it. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. I want to rekindle this connection with my person. I want a reconciliation. But, you know, we agreed that we're done. We broke up. We broke up and got back together several times. It didn't work. We're done. It's over. There's no point. Why try again? You know, you're going through this in your head and you're trying to reason through your feelings to essentially create that emotional distance, that emotional disconnect for yourself so that you don't want it as much, so that you're not as emotionally invested, so that you're trying to convince your heart through your mind, you don't want this, you don't want this, forget it. Now, sometimes it works. I can see that sometimes it does work for you and you're like, you know what, you're right. Why the heck do I even want this? But sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes even though you can come up with 101 reasons as to why you don't want this and you shouldn't pursue this and you shouldn't listen to your feelings and yada, 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 your heart and your desire still wins out. Let's take a look at the near future. I'm going to clarify the King of Pentacles for you in the near future. King of Pentacles is clarified by the Six of Swords, the Sun, and the Five of Pentacles. Taurus, you want this back. You are showing me, whoever you lost, whatever the connection is, it's a significant loss. You felt it. This isn't just something easy. It's not just somebody that you met, you talked for a few days, and then they ghosted you. It's not that. Whoever you lost, it was significant. It felt significant. And you're still feeling it in the near future. When you are able to put your ego away and put your mind, your rationale to the side, and you just entertain for a second, hey, maybe we can move past this. Maybe we can move in a better direction. That makes you so happy. The Sun is the happiest card in the deck, Taurus. But again, I don't see you taking action. You're so stubborn and your mind is very powerful. You're very good at, when I say no, it's no. And you're not going to move me until I decide to move. And you're even doing that with yourself here. Now, again, I'm not saying you have to take action, right? You have free will. But at least allow yourself to feel these things. The second any emotion comes up, you immediately just kind of shut it up with the mind, with logic, with practicality. Just feel your feelings. Let's take a look at the Eight of Cups in the near future. Eight of Cups is clarified by the Five of Swords, Nine of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. It's stressing you out because you keep telling yourself, oh, you know, there's no point. Why would I do that? Why would I? The mind, right? All the reasons the mind is giving you to not listen to your feelings, not feel your feelings. But what you're doing, Taurus, is you're essentially denying. There's a self-denial here where you feel something and your mind comes in and is telling you, you don't feel this. This is what you're actually thinking. You know, you're trying to reason through your emotions with the mind. Those two do not mix. It's like they're two separate parts and you're trying to have your mind override your feelings. All you're doing though, Taurus, and you're doing this as a protective mechanism. You're doing this to maintain that emotional distance, that emotional disconnect so that you don't want this as much. So you don't listen to your feelings. So you don't act based on your emotion. But all you're doing is just causing yourself pain and anxiety here. You're stressing yourself out here in the near future. I see you getting past it, but slowly. Because again, you are an earth sign. You move slow. Let's take a look at the Ace of Wands for you in the near future. Ace of Wands is clarified by the Empress, the Universe, and the Judgment. This is you, Taurus, and you want to rekindle this. You finally, in the near future, come to the realization of, okay, I'm done fighting myself. I'm done fighting this. I understand. I realize I want this back. You finally allow yourself to feel the feelings. Literally, it's like you've been in battle with yourself, and then eventually you just cave. You're like, okay, heart, fine. I'll listen. I'm listening. I hear you. I don't see any action. But at least you freaking listen to what you're feeling. You finally accept, hey, I have feelings that I don't need to use my mind to interpret. I can just feel them. Let's see what the universe wants you to keep in mind this month, Taurus. From the universe, you get the Eight of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Seven of Pentacles. You're working on your happiness and you're working towards happiness, but you're still evaluating it. You're still trying to figure out, like, how badly do I want this? Do I actually want this? Is this actually worth the effort? Should I invest in this? So you're doing it. Keep in mind, you're doing the work. You're working, you're building, like whatever it is you want, you're working towards it, but you're questioning and doubting yourself every single step of the way. Taurus. Well, that is what I have for you this month, Taurus. I hope this reading resonated and gave you clarity. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you here on the next one.